Trust the process. No one is hurt by breathing normally and naturally. At times during breathing sessions, we may lapse into states of unconsciousness. This manifests as seemingly falling asleep without warning during our breathing session. We may also feel as if we are anesthetized. This experience is valid. It occurs when deeply unconscious memory becomes activated and surfaces. If we experience a reoccurring loop of unconsciousness so that we lapse into sleep each time we sit to breathe, it's recommended we double the tempo of our breathing pattern until we again feel present. Even when we double the speed of our breathing pattern, we still keep our inhalation and exhalation evenly balanced. Doubling our breathing pattern minimizes the occurrence of any pausing. Notice that the point at which we lapse into sleep is at the end of an out-breath. Doubling the tempo of our breathing helps minimize the possibility of this. Once we feel more alert, we return to the tempo of our regular breathing pattern. The more present we become, the less this surfacing unconsciousness overwhelms us. When we are feeling deeply unconscious, the only way out is to breathe our way through. Into the breath. The experiential journey through the presence process is initiated when we first consciously connect our breathing. Like many who have embarked on this journey, we may discover that at times it can be challenging to consistently attend to our twice daily 15 minutes breathing practice. We may discover there are moments in which we feel immense resistance to it. The first 15 minutes we sit alone and breathe may stretch out and become the longest 15 minutes we have ever experienced. On the other hand, it may also fly by in what feels like a few short minutes. Understanding why this occurs, and that it isn't unusual, assists and even motivates us to break through any mental barriers that may arise. All of these points of resistance are mental barriers that reflect underlying imprinted emotional charges. Everything we seek from this journey awaits us on the other side of this resistance. The reason it may initially be challenging to sit down for a minimum of 15 minutes twice a day and connect our breathing isn't that this practice is difficult. When we follow the instructions for the breathing practice, we are simply breathing naturally. We are breathing normally. No overexertion or special posture is required. We aren't invited to do anything other than what already happens naturally in our body. In fact, it's more accurate to state that we are invited to undo and enter an experience of not doing. The physical effort required to consciously connect our breathing for 15 minutes twice a day is therefore not the issue. One reason it may be initially challenging to attend to this practice consistently is if we are consciously or unconsciously entering the presence process because someone else told us we should do it. Someone may have thought they were helping us by introducing us to this process, so we began it in order to please them. We may also have other misguided motivations. For example, we may believe that by doing the presence process, we will gain something from someone or from the world. Perhaps we believe that by entering this process, our partner will return, since by doing the process, we will have dealt with the issues that caused our separation. Or we may think that by completing this process, we will suddenly start making lots of money and become successful in the world. These examples of misguided intent illustrate situations in which our entry into this process may be motivated by reaction instead of response. When this is the case, we may initially struggle with our breathing practice because, when we are doing this for anyone or anything other than ourselves, it's challenging to muster the willpower to attend to the practice consistently. It's uncomfortable to enter integration work for someone else and impossible to breathe for someone else. The presence process may well be the first time we have done anything authentic for ourselves. To some extent, everyone who enters this process struggles with this. We all bear the scars of taking the cue for our behavior, our appearance, and our expectations of life from others. As children, we enter the world of order, routine, and appropriate behavior through the guidance, encouragement, and insistence of our parents and peers. Our lack of personal willpower, the ability to source our intent from insight, is the consequence of our initial intimate relationship with our mother. We eat, dress, bathe, and behave in a manner determined by our mother. As we develop, we express ourselves according to what we perceive to be appropriate in the eyes of our mother and father. The consequence of this initial dependency is that on an unconscious level, our motivation for the way we eat, dress, bathe, and behave today is almost solely sourced from the reflected physical presence of others and hence is reactive. We unconsciously use these others as ongoing reflections of our mother and father. Through the physical presence of others, we still attempt to please and appease our mother and father as a means of gaining their approval and unconditional acceptance. As we move...
All right. Looking good. A lot of information. You might want to look back over it. And I hope you're not doing this for somebody else. It is 100% for you to get to a place of presence. Take it easy.